Hey guys, it's Jay. So I'm here to do my K-pop yearly roundup where I talk about certain topics that made a lot of noise in the K-pop world this year. Um, a lot of stuff has happened and how things is looking. Even though we still got a couple days, something else might happen for all I know. But I just kind of want to just get through certain stuff that I'm not gonna go through everything, just certain things that kind of grabbed my attention this year, and kind of talk about that. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, majority of what I'm gonna talk about, it's not good because it was more things bad that happened than good. So that's going to be probably like the chunk of this video, unfortunately. But there are some good things that happened this year, but honestly, not much to be honest with you. So yeah, I kind of want to get through the sad and the drama, kind of get that out the way. So yeah, and this video is going to be long. I'm telling y'all that now. This video is going to be long because I have a lot to talk about. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is Junghyun's passing. So December 18th, the news broke that Junghyun from SHINee had passed away from an apparent suicide. Um, I'm not going to go into how he passed and stuff like that, but I kind of just want to talk about just the overall effect that it took, that it, how it affected everyone. Obviously, it shook the K-pop world. Whether you were a fan of SHINee or not, it affected everyone involved. And um, just the past that whole week, it was a lot. It was a lot, um, and I honestly feel like it opened the door for people to talk about things like suicide and depression and just mental illness. I'm sad that this situation opened up these conversations, but in the end, I'm still glad that happened because people need to understand that mental illness is real, depression is real, suicide is real. These things are real. This is not, it's not a joke, it's not a game, this is not things that people made up. I myself had talked about my issues with depression and suicide like during the summer. And when this initially happened, I spoke about it again because, not only am I going through it, but I have friends that are going through it, you know, and I know other fans who are, whether they know me or not, are going through the same thing. And I just wanted my experiences and my words to kind of let people know that you're not alone. And, if you're going through things, it is okay and that you can get help. You don't have to do this alone. You know, Unlike other places, at least in America, there are resources for people to get help for things like this. Not everyone can. So, and not only that, but I'm hoping that with this, conversations are being had, not just in K-pop, and just the K-pop in, or just in, not just K-pop, but just in the Korean entertainment industry. That I'm hoping that these conversations will be had, and I'm hoping that necessary resources will be available to anyone involved. Like I said, not just the artists, but producers, songwriters, staff members, security, backup dancers, whoever. It doesn't matter. I want I'm hoping for things to change. It's not going to come overnight, but I'm hoping that with this situation that things will change to where we don't have to go through this again. Cuz I don't know if the K-pop world can handle another situation like this again. I don't think so. So if it's possible for these things to kind of like make situations better, then I'm for it. I'm just sad that it took for him to not be here anymore for these things to happen, but I'm hoping and praying that in time things will change. And, not only that, but just the, the overall outgoing, just the overabundance of love and support. It doesn't matter if you knew Shiny or not. Just the fact that people are coming together and telling everyone else, like, look, if you need someone to talk to, hit me up. I'm willing to talk to you. I'm willing to call you. If you need someone to, to talk to, scream at, yell at, cry, who, whatever, I'm here for you. You know, I'm just glad to not just shout outs, but just fans, period, are coming together and just being that support system, because there's still people that are still going through it. Not everyone is just done moved on, and there's people that's still hurting. You know what I'm saying? So those people, it's going to take them a while for them to kind of get back to their regular routine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping in due time that those people will be okay and be able to just continue to live life. Um, and just the fact that this literally made world news. It was everywhere in multiple different publications, and even people on YouTube who don't even report on anything dealing with Korean entertainment was talking about it and things like that. I'm just, I mean, I will, it's like I said, there's a piece of my heart that's missing, but I'm hoping that in due time it'll be full again. Shiny meant a lot to me, and not just to me, but so many other people. Like, Shiny was my second favorite group. Like, 21 is my favorite overall, but like when it came to the boy groups, it was BAP and Big Bang, and right at number two is Shiny, and it'll always be Shiny. Um, so, whatever happens in Shiny's future, I'm going to support regardless, because that's what I do. I support people who I love and care about. So, does that mean the future for them is up in the air right now? But yeah, I'm hoping that people are able to just kind of, in due time, kind of just, be able to just, continue to just kind of go back to their normal routines, hopefully. And also, I'm hoping that, you know, I'm hoping that people understand that these actors, these idols, these celebrities, they don't have it easy. They have a hard life, They're under constant scrutiny. They're under this microscope where people are constantly tracking your every single move, what you wear, what you eat, what you say, what you do, who you date, what music you put out, whatever, any move you make, someone's watching you. And the moment you do something that's people don't like, they're going to chew you out for it. And I just want people to understand that it's not easy. Yes, these people are rich. Yes, these people are beautiful and talented and things like that. But these people go through regular shit just like you and me. They don't have it either just because they have more money than us. They go through the same struggle. They have the same demons just like the rest of us. And I really want people to understand that. A lot of people aren't able to come out and say, I'm going through something. Because there's a lot of people that hide their issues with other things, And that's just something I want people to understand. And through all of this, I want him to know that you are loved and you will always be loved, and your talent, your personality, your spirit will live on forever. You will never be forgotten. We will never forget you. And I just want you to know that we love you and we miss you. And we just all hope that you are at peace and you're happy and you are in a much better space. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is Top's marijuana scandal. So about say about May, was that May? June? I forget, was it July? I don't know. I know it was near the summer. And it had came out that Top was arrested for smoking marijuana. So the situation was him and this girl, I'm not gonna say her name, because I'm just not. Him and this girl were in his home smoking marijuana together. Um, Somehow she got caught. She told the police it was them two. They tested him, they tested her, and come to find out that he did have weed in his system. Yeah, now at the time of this, he was serving his military service as an officer. Um, and once the news broke out, basically all hell broke loose. People were disappointed, people were angry, people, you know, some people didn't give a shit. It was a lot. It was a lot going on at the time. And I've made my stance about marijuana. I don't care. I don't smoke it, but I know people who do. Um, and I understand that marijuana here is not a big deal, but marijuana over in Korea and just Asian countries, period, is a big deal. And I think that's one thing I think people tend to forget. It's easy for us Americans to say, well, weed's not a big deal. People talk about weed all the time here. Yes, because we're in America. That's the difference. In America, weed is starting to become more legal now, whereas it's not legal in Korea. And people get into a lot of trouble for it. We've seen it multiple times where people have spent time in jail for smoking weed, you know. But what I don't think any of us expected is the events that occurred after the news broke. So about a few days later, Top was on base and he went to sleep and basically didn't wake up. And he was in the hospital for 2 days, and literally I thought he was going to die. I swear, I don't think I was that stressed out since when my mother had to go into surgery for her lumpectomy. I literally was on edge for those 2 days. I was scared that I was going to wake up and get the news that he had passed away. Like, I was that scared. I was on edge. I was freaking out. And I know some people will be like, why are you doing that? You don't know him. I get it. I don't know the man. But at the same time, Big Bang means a lot to me. So to see someone who I've been following for this many years and to see him going through something like this broke my heart. And just to see in like the comments, oh, he's a drug user, da 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 da. It just reminded me of the bomb situation all over again. And, since then, obviously he woke up, he's just pretty much been laying low. More recently, I think like since his birthday in November, we've kind of seen little glimpses of him here and there just with family and with the members, but he's not like really out in public like that. It's just kind of like little spots here and there. And then after that, the girl that was involved in the scandal with him has gotten her fair share of drama, just comments she'd made over the years about certain things, and then recently she has spoke about the whole Jung situation and just a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, so at this moment, I don't know what's really going. I don't know what's really gonna happen with Top. I mean, he's basically on probation. Like if he don't get in trouble for the next what I think 2 years or something, he's straight. But if he gets in trouble, his ass is going to jail. Basically, and the same thing with the girl. I think he has 2 years. She has 4 years. So as long as them two don't get into no trouble, they're straight. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the A Pink bomb threats. So, multiple times this year, A Pink has had to go through many bomb threats, and it all stemmed from a few months ago, like say about maybe the middle of the year. A Pink was on this show where they went on fake, mind you, fake blind dates with these actor trainees. And this guy, I'm not even gonna call him a fan, this guy got so upset that since then, he's every time anyone in A Pink is doing something, there's a bomb threat involved. And, you know, this happened at Music Core, this happened at one of the like K-pop festivals. This happened at some of their like, you know, I think it was like a fan meeting, and then also like I think one of the other members had something to do with a drama or something like that, and like I think it's like a press conference or something like that. So basically, this has been going on kind of like throughout, you know, the rest of this whole year. And to my understanding, the guy involved is Korean Canadian. I think he's from Canada, and he's on the Interpol's most wanted list. Now, if you don't know what Interpol is, it's like the FBI, but for international crimes. So the FBI is more so in the States, but Interpol is literally worldwide. So the fact that he's on Interpol's most wanted list is not a good look for you, bruh. And the fact that they know who he is, but for some weird ass reason they haven't arrested this dude, and I'm sitting here like, okay, so you know who he is, and y'all still ain't find this dude yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just worried that the next time something might actually happen. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine what the girls are going through, having to knowing that someone is threatening their life over something that's not that fucking serious. It was a fake date on a TV show. And it's still very disturbing. It's very disturbing how this person is literally just basically tormenting these girls. And there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they basically gotta like look over their fucking shoulder because who knows? And that has to be just troubling for them. And I really feel awful for A Pink. So the next thing I want to talk about is the situations with Kangen from Super Junior and Onu from SHINee. So first I'm going to talk about Kangen. So if I'm not mistaken, last year was when Kangen had got into another DUI. He had gotten into a DUI a few years prior, and it wasn't until last year he got into yet another DUI where he was drinking under the influence, and he ran into a telephone pole, and since then he was supposed to be under reflection. So we fast forward to this year, about a couple months ago, that basically the situation was him and some female were out, and next thing you know, cops is being called, and people were saying that he was drunk and he put his hands on her. But the girlfriend, they said it's a girlfriend. I don't know if that's his girlfriend or not, but this woman didn't press charges. So that's pretty much that. But as of right now, we don't, SM hasn't really said anything like what's going to happen with him per se. um I've talked about him and his situation and just dealings with alcoholism, because like I said, when the situation happened, I talked about me growing up with basically alcoholics. My father was an alcoholic. My mother's an alcoholic. She's a functioning alcoholic, but she's an alcoholic. And just alcoholism is in my family. It's just that simple. So I feel a certain way when it comes to people and just drinking, period. So like I said, we don't know what's really gonna happen with him. So basically, he's just been laying low. So we'll see what's gonna happen. So for obvious reasons, he wasn't in the most recent Super Junior comeback. I don't know when he's gonna come back to Super Junior. I have no idea. And so now we're gonna move over to Onu. So a few months ago, Onu had gotten to a situation. He was at a club and he was celebrating a friend who just had became a DJ. And so he was drinking and he was inebriated, and he had grabbed onto this girl's leg because he was stumbling, and he grabbed onto her leg. The girl, went to the police, but after many different witness accounts, they said that, it's not, he didn't grab on her just to kind of like grab, like forcefully grab himself onto her and force himself on her. It was simply because he was drunk and he was losing his balance and he just ended up grabbing onto her. So she dropped the charges, and prior to the whole situation with Jungyeon, we hadn't seen anything from Onu. Now, I feel like there's a difference between the Kangen situation and the Onu situation, is because this is, to my understanding, this is Onu's basically first scandal, because I don't think Onu's really gotten into any scandals. I mean, there was that e-cigarette thing that was a couple of years ago, but I don't think it was really that serious. But this is like his first scandal, whereas with Kangen, he has gotten into trouble multiple times. And I know a lot of people will probably say, well, you kind of let Kangen have it and you was light on Onu. I wasn't really light on Onu, but like I said, at the end of the day, both men know better. They're both grown men. And at the end of the day, the common denominator is the drinking either needs to stop or they need to have a better control of their drinking. And I understand in Korea, it's a drinking culture. I get it. But at the same time, there's gotta be a limit. It's that simple. It's just that simple. Because a lot of bad things can happen if people don't control their drinking. Like I said, my father was an alcoholic, and I had to literally grow up with my father and him dealing with alcohol, and the fact that he died due to years upon years of drinking. So I know what it's like. It's not pretty, it's not cute, it's very difficult to live with, I will say for a fact. But with the Onu situation, I felt like this was completely blown out of proportion, because how the Nitsons and the media was spinning it, they was making him seem like he was like some sexual deviant, like he forced himself on this girl, when it's been said that he didn't do that. Now, if he did, I would definitely look at him different, but that's not the case in this situation. It's not. And that's why I just absolutely hate when the Nietzsche's get they, they got their pitchforks ready and they going on their witch hunt and they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't the situation. Whereas with King, and it's like, dude, this is your third incident. Like, obviously, you need to just not drink anymore because it's getting you into way, way too much trouble. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is the whole mama situation. So you already know, like clockwork, November, it's when I say like maybe like end of October, November, they announce, the mamas, they announce when they're going to announce the nominees and things like that. So this year, they decided to do things differently where they had it in 3 different locations. It was in Vietnam, Japan, and Hong Kong. This year would be the first year that they will have the mamas in Vietnam. I don't think they may have been to Japan before, but they mostly just have it, and they've had it in Hong Kong for the past 5 years. I think it's at least the past 5 years they've had it in Hong Kong. Um, so there was that, and I know that some countries had a little bit of an issue with that. Just a lot of political stuff that child. I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that, honey. But yeah, and then what was like also drama was the nominees. A lot of people felt like a lot of people got snubbed. A lot of people, so yeah, that was another thing. People was getting snubbed, and people felt like they should, people was feeling like some people shouldn't get, nominated for certain categories, blah blah blah. But that's every year. But the big drama with the mamas this year was the voting. So like clockwork, every single year, at a certain day, that when they announced the nominees, later on they opened the online voting. So just like every single year, I think people tend to forget that there's more aspects to who wins mamas besides the online voting. It's digital sales, physical sales, the Mama Academy, because there is a like a I'm sorry, committee and the online voting. So the online voting isn't the end all be all of who wins mamas. So the people were voting, and then after about a week or so, Mnet had came out and was saying that they were going to kind of put a pause on voting to delete fraudulent accounts, because I guess people were something with these accounts for voting for the mamas. And so then after that, people were realizing that their votes were being deleted. And not only that, but certain people was going down on the online voting. Like me and a couple of my friends who voted for the mamas, a bunch of our votes had gotten deleted. So, like I said, I made a video for me voting for the mamas. So me voting in that video got deleted. And so when I went to check, I only had one vote counted when I had voted a couple times after that. And there's a bunch of other people who were saying that their votes were deleted. So a lot of people were angry, and a lot of people think that it was like a setup for certain people to, win, things like that. So it was a big, huge controversy. And even like at the mamas, I think the one in the one in Hong Kong, maybe like certain people felt like certain people shouldn't have got the award, da 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 da. But like I said, it's typical for the mamas. This happens every year, and not only that, but this is the second year in a row where no one from YG was there. Like I know there was Chucko, but I don't consider him YG per se because they're under high ground. So I'm talking about people like Icon, Winner, Blackpink, all of them. no one from YG was there. And, I don't know how the ratings went this year. So, that was that. But yeah, that was the whole drama with the mamas. Okay, so the next topic I wanted to talk about is K-pop fandoms at odds. Now, that's normal in K-pop, but I feel like for some weird reason this year, a lot of fandoms was at each other's throats this year, and I don't know why, but I will definitely say it was very irritating this year to see just fandoms going at it. Of course, you have the main one is XOLs versus armies, and this goes back to 2015. You know, 2015, 2016. I say 2015, pretty much. Like XOLs and armies were kind of like, I think it's kind of like where it started, and then now it's like, the big beef, I guess, because EXO is a big group, BTS is now a big group, and now of course their fandoms do not like each other. But yeah, so of course, like I said, XOLs and armies do not fuck with each other at all. You will definitely see this. I can already sense this during the SBS Gala de June. You sense it at the Mamas, at the Melon Awards. It's just, I hate to see just fandoms going at it because I feel like it's totally unnecessary. But that's another thing. And then, just other there's just so many just going at each other. It's ridiculous. Like Wannables and God knows whoever fandoms, and like Wances going probably against like Blinks and all this other stuff and blah blah blah. It's very, and I honestly don't even want to say, oh, it's all new fans, because no, it's not all new fans. It's just fans, period, fighting over simple, just dumb shit. Like people fighting over the littlest things, over like music show wins and YouTube views and this, that, and the third, and awards and blah blah blah. Like I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but I feel like it just keeps getting worse as the years go on. And I feel like just the fighting is taking the fun out of K-pop, where like back, not saying that everything was lollipops and rainbows back in the day, because it was not, but it was not this intense like 6-7 years ago. Like, yeah, of course people had their beefs with each other, fandoms didn't get along, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, of course you had Blackjack versus Solons, and before it was XOLs and armies, it was EXO Worlds versus babies, and whoever was beefing, like I think it was like Queens versus God knows who else. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this was happening then, but like I said, now it's like this was before K-pop has gotten so international now than it was before. So it's like more fans are coming into K-pop. In the past couple years, I say in the past 3 years, a lot of fans are coming into K-pop, and and a lot of them are like young, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got, and then it's also like the new K-pop fans versus the older K-pop fans. It's like, God, it just reminds me, we think of like, the new hip hop fans that like, those quote unquote mumble rappers versus people who like just regular hip hop. It's just like, it's intense, child. It's intense, and it's crazy it's really crazy to see. And I sensed this because I was watching SBS's Gala de June on Christmas, and I don't know if they were booing. I couldn't really tell, but it sounded like every time a girl group was mentioned or something, they were booming. Like I could have swore when Twice was performing, I could have swore I heard boos. Maybe I'm bugging, but honestly, I'm probably not. I'm probably not wrong. Um, and like when Blackpink and if it wasn't like BTS, One and EXO, they was probably booing you. Probably not winner, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if you was a girl group, they was probably booing you for some weird ass reason. Um, I don't know. Well, I'll probably see. The um I think the next Gala de June is either tomorrow. I think I it's hard to keep up with all these Gala de June, but I think it may be the today, like tomorrow or something like that. Um, but yeah, just fandom just going at it. It's just like it's ridiculous. Like, yo, just enjoy the music, y'all. Just enjoy the music and just enjoy your face. Like, y'all don't have to like really try and rip each other's throats out. It's really not that deep, y'all. It's not that deep. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the attack of the survival shows. Now, there's a lot of survival shows that happened this year. You got Stray Kids, you got Mix Nine, you got The Unit. Well, I forgot I'm forgetting something. Is there another one? Produce 101, Doja, Produce 101. So there's a lot of survival shows this year, and there has been drama with most of them. I don't think there was really much drama for the Stray Kids one, but for the others, there was like drama. Of course, Produce 101 had drama before it even started. Like, before Produce 101 even started, there was like, we didn't think the show was going to happen because a lot of companies was like, we're not sending our trainees to the show, this, that, and the third. So, of course, JYP, YG, and SM was like, we're not sending our trainee. I think they said like TS, and I think Starship said they're not sending any trainees and things like that. So like kind of those companies were not sending any people into Produce 101 this season. And then when they had announced that certain people were going to, come on the show, obviously just like the first season, not everyone is a trainee. There were people just like the first season that were already in groups. It's the same thing with this season. You had people from like Top Dog and Hot Shot. Just I'm trying to think about the groups on top of my head, but you get my point. And then also, the big thing was when everyone, I think 4 out of 5 of New East joined Show Me the Money, Produce 101, and of course, a lot of people felt a certain way because out of all the people, they had the most experience because they had been out for like 5 years and things like that. But at the same time, they had a great debut, but since then, it's just been crickets. Like, no one has been checking for them since then. So, I felt a certain way at first because I felt like had Pledis done their job, and if other people started caring, if other people started supporting, we wouldn't have this situation, because we all know Pledis is a bit of a mess. You know what I'm saying? We see what's going on with After School. We see what happened with New East. So basically before then, their main focus was 17 and now it's Princeton and things like that. But at the same time, with New East joining the show, it got attention for the group. And so that was that. And I think there was also some drama with like how the contestants were being treated. I think that was for the Produce 101. I think it was Produce 101 where like higher ranked people got, like, certain people got special treatment, some people kind of got like awful treatment and things like that. And something also with like the voting and things like that. And then of course I think another big drama with Produce 101 was the finale. I watched the finale, and that was the most intense ass finale I've ever seen since when? Because I watched the finale from when, And that shit had me on edge. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't watch this fucking show because, child. And I'm so glad I didn't watch Produce 101 because, like I said, I keep saying, Alex was literally freaking the fuck out for like 2 hours straight. Like, oh my God, because he watched the show. I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because that was a lot. That was a lot. And, you know, and of course, when they picked the 11 members, and a lot of people were like upset that certain people didn't make it. Some people was upset that certain people did make it, and da 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 da. So it was a big drama when they ended up picking 101. And then not only one, Produce 101, but of course, the after Produce 101, people just got these. So yeah, since after, Produce 101, then people were like riding on this survival show train. Mind you, the concept for survival shows is not a new fucking concept. I mean, they've been doing survival shows since what? Big Bang, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong here, but I think Big Bang may be one of like the first groups to come from a survival show. I think people tend to forget that. That yes, Big Bang started as a survival show. So I say like maybe since what, '06, you know what I'm saying? So this is not a new concept, but it's just since this year, it's just been so many survival shows. It's ridiculous. And then of course there's the Idol School show, as well. And of course, then it was like the unit in Mix 9. So Mix 9 is YG survival show. So basically, kind of like a small synopsis of the show. YG and a couple of other people, whether it be someone from YG or any other guest, will go with him to certain, different companies and audition the trainees. They pick the ones they like, and they go on from there. That's pretty much. And then I think the end is supposed to either be a boy group or a girl group. And I think they're going to be like a group for. It's not like 101 where it's like a year and a half. I think it's only for like a short period of time. Whereas the unit, it's basically a show for failed idols to kind of have a chance of redemption. And they audition. If they make it, they go forward, and then in the end, it's this one group. I think I'm trying to think, is it a co-ed group or is it going to be two separate groups? I can't remember, but at the end, they make a group, and I think it's only supposed to be for like a couple months as well. So I watched Mix 9. I hated it, and for good reason, because YG's a dick, and he made me so mad. I'm like, I literally had to stay here for almost 2 hours. I don't like him on the show at all, from what I watched. And not even Taeyong and CL and Seungri can make me watch this show. They can't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if YG wasn't a part of the process, I might have watched it. But just seeing how he treated people, I don't like it at all. And it showed because the ratings are terrible. Whereas I don't think the unit is better, like in ratings. I don't think they have phenomenal ratings, but they're way better than fucking Mix 9. I'll tell you that. So where Mix 9, I liked Mix 9. Where the thing is like I don't expect these judges to handle people with kid gloves and like baby people, but you can still give someone criticism and not be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind seeing Taemin give someone criticism, but he's not a dick about it. You know what I'm saying? Or the same thing if it was like Hyuna or some shit. Like, they're not being assholes, whereas YG is being a straight up, flat out asshole. And I did not like it at all. And I know a lot of people didn't like it as well. And the unit, I've been missing episodes. I really need to keep up. I've been wanting to keep up with it, but I keep forgetting to actually keep up with the episodes. I'm gonna try my best today to try to catch up. But I like the process more for the unit. And I know JYP has another one called Stray Kids. I think Stray Kids is over now, so everyone is going to debut. So it's going to be a 9-member group. So they'll probably debut sometime next year. If things work out, probably be sometime next year. But yeah, just watching the unit and Mix Nine makes me it solidifies my point as to why I don't like survival shows, because the process is just way too intense. It's just way too much drama, and my brain can't compute all of that. I really can't. So yeah, it's just, that's probably why I don't like watching survival shows at all. Okay, so the last topic I want to talk about, where like it's like the quote unquote drama, is I feel like it's the end of an era, and that's the end of the second generation K-pop groups. As we've seen in the past couple years, a lot of second generation groups are literally just falling through the cracks. I mean, either they're completely breaking up or they're losing members. I mean, when you think about it, there's the only groups that I can think of that still have all their members is Big Bang and Brown Eyed Girls. When you think about think about it. U-Kiss, Shiny, 2PM, 2AM, Miss A, Sistar, M Black, Highlight, 21, Tiara, FX, Secret, Rainbow, fucking Girls' Generation, Super Junior, TVXQ. I can go on. Like, there's so many groups that's like either they're completely done or they are losing members. And if they're still together, we don't really hear from them. Think about it. When's the last time you got a Secret comeback? We ain't got a comeback from FX in how many years? And how things is looking for FX, I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with them next year. Oh, of course, I keep forgetting Wonder Girls. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then just recently, Miss A, they had just announced that they disbanded. So it's just like, you know, as a fan that came into K-pop in 2012, you know, I kind of came in. I came in when it's, I guess this would be considered 2012. We kind of like 2011, 2012 would kind of be considered third generation. So when I came into K-pop, you had people like EXO and BAP, VIX, B2B, AOA, Block B, B1A4, BTS, Royal Pirates, Boys Republic, 24K, Global Icon, Evil, Top Dog. Do I consider 2014 groups third generation? Maybe, I don't know. So, I mean, I guess it depends on who you talk to. But, you know what I'm saying? That's when I came into K-pop. But see, I wasn't listening to those groups. I was listening to groups like Super Junior, Girls' Generation, Tiara, FX, 21. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it wasn't until 2013 was when I listened to more groups. It was still groups that came out years ago, like Big Bang and Shiny and Beast and Teen Top, Infinite, Miss A, 4 Minute. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that had been out for years, where a small percentage of the groups that I listened to that year had debuted like a year prior, like, you know, BAP and EXO and VIX and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm just, the most of the people that I really liked at that time had been out for many years. You know what I'm saying? So just to see that a lot of the groups that got me into K-pop are really aren't around anymore. It's like I said, yeah, you still have Big Bang, but you know, the members are going to the military, and in this whole top situation, I don't know what's gonna happen. Um, you know what I'm saying? 2 p.m. All the they all finna start going to the military. Shiny is a big old question mark at this point. I mean, the only group that's still kind of doing shit really is like Highlight. Even though they lost a member, but they're still making music. You know, they rebranded the group, but they're still making music. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, it just makes me sad because these groups, I really, they were a big part of me and my early years of getting into K-pop, and a lot of those groups are gone. You know, not saying there's no beef with me and these new groups, 'cause I do like these new groups, but at the same time, a lot of the groups that I liked then were kind of close to my age. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone is like young as hell, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting close to 30, and I'm staying in groups that got members that's like 18 and shit. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely no issues with these new groups. It's just some I like, some I don't like. Um, you know, and like I said earlier, I just hate that there's kind of like this divide between older K-pop fans and new K-pop fans, because older K-pop fans, some of us don't like the new groups, and then the new fans consider like the old groups has-beens and things like that, because trust me, they were saying shit like that when Girls' Generation came back for Holiday Night, and that really bothered me, because it's like, this is Girls' Generation. There would be no Red Velvet, there would be no Twice, there would be no Blackpink, there would be no G-Friend and Oh My Girl if it wasn't for someone like Girls' Generation. So it bothered me when I saw comments like that, or even like, you know, when, like I said, when people had like a group like 2 p.m. and they'd be like, oh, who's this? Or like, when like Sistar would come back, people would be like, oh, that group that debuted like such and such years ago. It definitely did bother me. But yeah, I honestly feel like this is a period where like the second generation group is like, it's literally about to be extinct, and that's really fucking sad. It really is. I feel like this period is literally about to be like donezo, and it makes me worried for people like TVXQ and people who've been out for over 10 years, like Super Junior and TVXQ and Boa, and even like a Big Bang, like, what I'm saying, like people like that been out here for many years. Like, can they still hang with these new kids? You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Okay, so I think that's enough with the drama. Like I said, it is going to be a very long video because I still have other topics to talk about. So I'm very sorry that this video is very long. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. But to kind of get into lighter topics, I want to talk about the birth of 101. I already spoke about, produce 101 this season in the drama, but just after all the drama, just to see 101 Lily blow up was crazy. Like I said, I didn't watch the show, but I have so many friends that are like really, really, really into 101. It's kind of like I kind of got sucked in, without me noticing it. And I was like, let me just check out this group. It can't be that bad. And then, they debuted, and I was very surprised at how much I liked Energetic. Like, that damn song was stuck in my head for like a good couple weeks. And I was like, oh my God. And I actually was surprised how much I enjoyed it and how much I actually liked the members. I still get some of their names mixed up. I still get faces confused with other people. But hell, I still do that with Twice. But, you know, just seeing like the fact that these dudes they are out here. And the sucky part is that it's not a permanent group. That's the sucky part. You know what I'm saying? Um, the fact that these dudes is like in so many commercials, doing endorsements. You know what I'm saying? They're getting so much money from doing this. I mean, they're flying like business class, like child. You know what I'm saying? You would thought they was like on some Beyonce shit, and then, you know what I'm saying? This is a rookie group. You know what I'm saying? Um, and you know what I'm saying? The fact that they sold like 1 million copies, and this is only like they've only been out for a few months. They debuted this summer, and the fact that like I saw um, the broadcast of KCON, and they performed at KCON, and how people were flipping out over One on One. It is crazy. So I can only imagine what's next for them come 2018. So just get prepared. So next I want to talk about the rise of Luna. So this year Luna has been making their names known this year. If you don't really know the concept of Luna is a 12-member girl group. Um, I I keep forgetting the name of the company. It was a small company, and from the jump, they had a lot of money put into this group. And this entire year, each girl was introduced, and with them being introduced, there was a single released and a video released, and there's also like subunits and things like that. And I think they just introduced a new girl, so I think they're close to being finished with introducing all the girls, and then sometime maybe like middle of 2018 they'll probably debut. But I know a lot of people really follow Luna. I don't follow them like that because the stuff I heard earlier when they were releasing things I wasn't really here for, because I'm not, y'all know I don't really do cute shit like that. um but the things I've heard, so like um Kim Lip with Eclipse, I did like that song. Eve's, that's probably my favorite. Like I absolutely love her in that song. It has been on repeat since it came out. Um and I really did enjoy Odd Eye Circle's last comeback. Was the first one? Yeah, I think it was like another thing they came out with. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what it'll be like when all of the group debuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, what sound are they gonna go for? Is it gonna be kind of like a mix of cute and I feel like it might be like an eclectic type of group. But I'm definitely very intrigued and very interested to see what the girls come up with once they officially debut come 2018. And next, I want to talk about the rebirth of Winner. I mean, I've been following Winner since the end of Win, since the finale of Win. Yeah, I if I had to choose between Icon and Winner, I like Winner just a bit more than Icon. Even though I love me some Icon, but I love me some Winner a bit more than Icon. And I was so anxious for their debut, and it was supposed to be like later on 2013, but they didn't debut until summer 2014. And they had this phenomenal debut, and then 2015 crickets. I think the members may have done like solo stuff like dramas and stuff, and may have just shown me the money, but that was pretty much it. Come 2016 they came back after being gone for like a year and some change, but that didn't necessarily work out because the album didn't do all that hot. I'm going to assume it was because after the whole Made thing with like people having to buy multiple copies of the Maid series, and then the fact that YG was basically going to have Winner do the same shit. And I think a lot of people was like, yeah, no, y'all got me fucked up. I'm not doing this again. Because that's why I didn't buy it at first. Because I'm like, I'm not about to buy this album. And I get kind of caught in the trap of the Maid series again. So that didn't do well. And I know, like, it was kind of like a hit or miss for some people. Some people liked the songs, some people didn't like the songs, and then the rest of the year was nothing until like November when Taeyeon had left the group. So when Taeyeon had left the group, um, it was definitely, I was worried because I honestly didn't know what was gonna happen with Winter. Honestly, I really didn't, because we all know how Raji rolls. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it with Lehigh. You know what I'm saying? She had a great debut, but then she was like ghost for like years until like last year, and then you know, and then you can definitely tell like at a certain point his main focus was mainly on Icon and Blackpink and stuff like that. So I was definitely worried for Winner because I really do love Winner, and I feel like people like Winner and Octon Musician bring something that's not the YG staple. You know what I'm saying? Like they do something different, and that's why I really like those types of groups. Not saying that I don't like Icon and Blackpink. Obviously, I love those groups, but they're Octon musician and Winner were something fresh and different. And I think a lot of people like that, you know what I'm saying? Because it was something different for YG, who was mainly like a hip hop group, or a hip hop company, excuse me. But then come this year, they said that they're coming back, and I was like, man, this song don't pop off. It's about to be a wrap for Winner. We ain't gonna hit them for like 3-4 years. But then they came out with Fate number 4 in April, and basically really, really was the rebirth of Winner. Because if you listen to Winner's music prior to this year, it was definitely different, but they definitely took a risk with riding the wave of the tropical house sound because everyone was doing it. But for Winner, it worked out for them, and it became like one of the biggest songs of the year. Like it was streamed a lot, and a lot of people really enjoyed that song. And then in the summer, they came back with Island and Love Me. And I think Island did well. I'm trying to figure out what was Love Me or Island that did. I think maybe both songs that did well that summer. So, I'm just very glad that we got more from Winner this year. Because I would have to hate to see them like not, kind of be like stuck in the YG basement for like 2-3 years. And so I'm hoping that next year we will definitely get more music from Winner come 2018. Alright, my next topic, I'm going to talk about Rain and Taeyong. So first we're going to start off with Rain. So this year, Rain had got married to Kim Tae-hee, who is a well-known actress in the acting world in Korean entertainment. They had been dating for like 3 years. I think like 3 years, right? Yeah, I think they got together like 2013. I think while he was still doing his military service, and they're like this really big couple in Korean entertainment, and they got married back in February. And also a few months later, Kim Tae-hee had gave birth to their first child, and it was a girl. I don't think they said her name, but so now Rain's a daddy now, for real this time. He's an actual father this time. So for one that's been following, I only got into Rain maybe only a short period of time, So I say about 2014 was when I got into Rain, when he had came out with Rain Effect. And I mean, when you think about it, Rain's an OG. Like, Rain's been doing this shit since 2001, and he was pretty much like the person to kind of open that door for people like a BTS and, and other groups to try to make it in America. You know what I'm saying? He was that one, you know what I'm saying? He was in Hollywood movies and he was winning awards and things like that. And he was just being known not just in Korea or Asia anymore. He was known worldwide at this point. So, you know, Rain is a big deal. I know most new fans probably don't really know that much about Rain, but honestly, a lot of your male or even your female faves look up to Rain. Just gotta say that. But other than that, congratulations to Rain and Kim Tae-hee on their marriage and the birth of their daughter. And then also, this year, just a couple, December 18th, Taeyong had announced that him and his girlfriend Min Horan are getting married come next year. So we already know, if you are familiar with Big Bang, you already know over the years Taeyong was known as the one that was scared of girls and didn't quote unquote date. I kinda call bullshit. He was probably dating just on the low. I'm sorry, you can't be Taeyong and not date nobody, like, hello. But you know what I'm saying? He was the one that was just like, he was just kind of like scared of girls and stuff like that. And then come 2013, he meets Hyun, and they were in the videos. There's in videos together, and then boom, they started dating, and then they've been together for like 4 years. And he announced it on his Instagram that they're going to get married, and I'm so happy. I'm very happy for him. Yes, that's my first K-pop male bias, and you probably think I'm mad, but no, I'm really happy for him because I know how much he loves her. I know how much she loves him. And it's just crazy, like, he is the first one in the group to get married. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who would have been the first one, to be honest with you. I really didn't know who would have been the first one to get married, but yes, what he said, sometime early next year, they're going to get married, because also next year, GD and Taeyong are going to enlist into the military sometime next year, so they just want to kind of get married as soon as they can. And no, they said she's not pregnant. I don't believe it. I feel like she might be pregnant. Something tells me she might be pregnant. Or honestly, I'm just surprised he knocked her up like years ago. I'm just playing, but yeah. So congratulations to Rain and Kim Tae-hee, and of course Taeyong and Hyun on your future nuptials. And to finally end this K-pop year roundup, because I'm going on an hour. I'm so sorry, y'all, but there's so much to talk about. But yes, to end off the K-pop yearly roundup is to talk about, obviously, the group that's had a phenomenal year, and that is none other than BTS. BTS has literally been on the quest of world domination this year. Just beginning of last year with the success of Wings, and then the success of the Wings tour, like the tickets going on sale, and then the actual tour happening this year. And you know what I'm saying? The shows in South America, and then the shows in America. And then, they re-released the Wings album, You're Not Alone. They came out with, Spring Day and Not Today. And, Spring Day was a big song earlier this year. And then it kind of like took a little break a little bit in between the year. And then we go to September, where they released their 5th mini album, Love Yourself, Her. And it did phenomenal. Obviously it did great numbers in Korea. They had like a million like pre-order. I think that was just in Korea. And I'm not even talking about internationally, but there's like a lot of they did great numbers just in pre-orders, and then the album not only was the number one on the world Billboard charts, but it debuted number 7 on the K-pop, the Billboard Hot 100, and it was 200. I keep forget. I keep getting the things. 200 is albums, 100 is song. Okay, I think the Billboard Hot 200. I think is the albums, but debuted at number 7. So mind you, they're on the same. Like they're in the top 10 with people like Taylor Swift, and I think who else was like top 10? I think it may have been like I know it's like Taylor Swift, and I think maybe Kendrick was still in the top 10 at this point. I think maybe like I know there was other. I can't think right now. Oh, maybe like Sam Smith, I think. But yeah, it was like they're basically on the same, like the top 10 with these huge artists, and they debuted at number 7, which is the highest a K-pop album has ever debuted. You know what I'm saying? So that was incredible. And then DNA did pretty good on the Billboard Hot 100. And then they did a collaboration with Steve Aoki for the remix of Mic Drop featuring Designer, and that debuted at number 28. It was like the number 1 on iTunes. It was crazy. And then not only that, but earlier this year they was nominated for a Billboard Award, and they won a Billboard Award, beating out Justin Bieber's record for like I forgot how many years now. I think like 6 years, and they beat his record. And after that they met so many people, and people want to work with them, and their name is just a lot of people have been talking about them this year. And so yeah, they did the remix with Steve Aoki, and like people like Shawn Mendes wants to work with them. Zed, who's like a really big producer out here, he wants to work with them. Namjoon did a remix for Fall Out Boy. Suga, got an award for his work as a producer. Stuff like that. And of course, them performing at the AMAs, which is like the first K-pop group to perform at the AMAs, but they are the second Korean act to perform at the AMAs after Psy, of course. And just the fact that literally everyone and their mama was talking about BTS this year. And of course, coming back to Korea and winning big at the Mama Awards. You know what I'm saying? Of course, winning Artist of the Year again. And, I think they won Artist of the Year at the Melon Awards, I think. I think it was Artist of the Year. Was the album? No, I think they made it with EXO. No, okay, yeah, I think they won Artist of the Year at the Melon Awards, if I'm not mistaken. And they also won Global Artist at the Melon Awards, and you know what I'm saying, just performing everywhere, and just a lot of great things has been going for BTS this year. And to say I'm proud of them is quite an understatement. Just seeing them from the day that debuted, watching the video for No More Dream, and you fast forward to now, I never would have thought in a million years that this was going to happen. I would have not predicted this about 4 years ago. But I'm just insanely proud of all of them, and I already know it's not going to stop. They're going to just continue to keep growing, just not as artists, but just as people. And then their fandom is going to get even bigger, because a lot of people are getting into K-pop because of BTS. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot of great things for BTS, and I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy for them, and I can only imagine what 2018 has in store for them. So yes, after an hour and 14 minutes, it is the end of my K-pop yearly roundup video. This is a very long video. I think this might be my longest video to date. But there was a lot of stuff that's happened this year. A lot of good and also a lot of bad and a lot of sad. But, you know, I'm just happy that we've all made it another year, and I'm hoping that 2018 is a good one, but an eventful one. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, and this is probably going to be my last video of the year. So I'm probably gonna be uploading this on New Year's, but yeah, it's gonna be the last video of the year. And I just want you guys to know that I hope you guys have it, whatever happened in your year 2017. I hope you can take anything bad and kind of, just learn from it in a way, and hopefully you can better yourself come 2018. I hope that for myself, for 2018, I hope that not only can I better myself, in my personal life, but just in my, you know, my YouTube quote unquote career, if you want to say that. But yeah, I hope you guys had an eventful 2017. I hope you guys have a great 2018. And yeah, I will see you guys in 2018. Later.